Infosys, don't go to ITC. Instead, try and work with small startup companies. Try to work under CEOs, under entrepreneurs. You will learn much, much more.
Thank you, sir.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, what is that one thing that makes you so optimistic in life? Sir, because when we are talking to you, we are getting so much of positive vibes. So that, sir, what is that one thing that makes you so optimistic?
Yeah, so I was just reading this very interesting story this morning. In fact, I was searching for some nice stories to tell actually you guys. And one of the stories that I really learned was there was a guy who always says that, listen, I have two choices in life, right? I have two choices in life. Either I can study very well, or I can not study and fail in my exam. So there is two simple choices that you can take, right? The easy one for you to do is, hey, let me study well and let me get better marks. Failing is not so important. And let me tell you who this guy is. This guy is Sachin Tendulkar. So somebody asked him, what is it that makes you such a positive person and such an amazing achiever? And he said, every time I walk onto the field, I get a chance. I can either play very well and score a century, or I can play very badly and get out easily. And he says every single time he walks to the stage, to the ground, he says that I want to score a century. That's the attitude. Another amazing thing is the story of a guy who got shot. He's a shopkeeper. There was a theft in a store, and somebody shot him, and he was critically wounded in his leg, so they wheeled him up into the hospital. And just before giving medications, they went very close to his ears and said that, are you allergic to anything? Are you allergic to anything? And he looked at the nurse and said, bullets. So he said, I'm allergic to bullets. So look at that sense of humor that he had, and even at that time when he was bleeding and there gunshots in his wound, he never lost his sense of humor and that feeling of positivity. And he came out of it and is very, very successful right now. So that's the thing. I mean, we have two choices. Either we can be positive or we can be negative. The easy option, just be positive.
So you asked us to create a domain under our name. So how will it help us? How will it help us?
Repeat the second part of the question, please.
So you asked us to create a domain under our name. You asked us to buy it. So how will it help us? How students will get benefited by this?
Oh, okay. How will it benefit you? There are multiple ways how it can benefit you, right? So number one is it is a beautiful place for you to put your CV. So the next time you go to a job or when somebody approaches you and says that, can I have your biodata? Do not give them your 2 sheets of paper, because 99.9% of people will print out their resume in the form of a biodata and they will hand it over, right? Don't do that. Instead, put your biodata onto your resume, onto your site, and tell them to take a look at it online. They'll be surprised, and trust me, that's one. Number two, all you guys are engineering students, right? Most of you. And eventually what you will do is each one of you will do your project work, correct? Now, it will be awesome for you to put all your project work details, including videos, including your theses, your whatever or the things that you have, just put everything up onto your site. So if there's a working prototype, you can actually check it out on your site. Third, remember I told you about the early morning rule. Successful students are the ones who are very good at communication and very good at writing. So when you write something, anything creative, of course you can put it up on Facebook. But remember that anything that you put on Facebook, Google will not index. It is like something that you write and then it is walled. It's like Facebook is like a walled garden. Only your friends can see, others cannot. But when you put those creative writings on your site, on your blog, then it becomes like bottles of wine. You know, when you take a bottle, fill it up with wine, cork it, and keep it in a basement or an almirah. The more number of years it takes, the wine becomes better. Similarly, any content that you write on a daily basis or a weekly basis, it becomes like wine. It gets better with time. So your site can be the place where you put your photographs, you can put your videos up, you can post all your videos on YouTube, but you can embed those videos up on your site. So if you want an example of how a good site should be, what I've done is I have done a research for a complete 1 year, guys. I did a research for 1 year. I looked at amazing websites around the world and I took notes. And I put up all the best things and I built my own website, right? So when I tell you you guys have a great website, I should walk the talk. So I did a lot of that research and put that into action and I built my own site. So if you can, please take a look at kiruba.com and see if you can take any little help or any little thing and you can apply to your own site. And that's the easiest advice I can tell you.
Good evening, sir. Myself, Deva Kumar from KGIT, and I have one question for you. Behind every successful man, there is anyone. So, can you share your behind you who were there?
Let me tell you this. I think it's a great question, guys. I'll tell you another it's a secret that not many people know. The best way to succeed in life is, listen to this very, very clearly, especially you guys, is to marry a great woman. If you don't get a very understanding, supportive guy, let me tell you this, because he or she, your wife, or your husband that you eventually choose, right? Now, you guys are young, of course. Some of you are already dating. But eventually, in about 5-10 years, you will marry. So absolutely remember that person that you marry is the one who can break or make your life. If it's a bad partner, then every single day you wake up and you look at a person that you don't like very much, and that will reflect in your life. So choose someone who's very supportive. Choose someone who gives you the space for you to do the things that you like. And quite honestly, I mean, my wife, her name is Sujani. She is amazing, very, very helpful, very supportive of every decision. So I have to tell you, have you heard of Narayana Murthy's case, the Infosys founder? So N.R. Narayana Murthy's wife actually gave her jewels and in order to have a startup capital for founding of Infosys, right? And it's a very stable thing. Let me also tell you that I used to be an associate director in a company, in a large company with about 1,000 plus employees. I was getting a very, very fancy fat salary. I was reporting directly to the CEO. Hundreds of people reporting to me, great job. But I chose to become an entrepreneur. I quit my well-paying plus job and I started business on my own. The first 1 year, it was very difficult. We had very difficult times. But one thing I firmly believe was that no matter what happens, even if I have to starve, I will starve, but I will pay my employee's salary on time without a single hour delay, not just a single day delay. So there are times when we ran negative and my wife actually pledged us well and we paid salaries to our employees. So it's just amazing to see, the kind of support that you get. So yeah, get a good wife, guys.
Awesome!
Hi.
Do you really think that you are successful?
No, I'm not, right? So let me tell you this. So there are two sides to that question, right? Am I successful? One part of it says I am, because honestly, I now am an independent guy. I am my own boss. I get to do the things that I want to do. In that regard, I'm living a life where I'm doing things that my heart truly likes. I have the freedom to say no to things that I don't like, even if it means I get more money and I'm rejecting the money. That's one part of the question. So the part answer is that yes, I'm partly successful. The other part is that no, I'm not, right? Because if I was successful, I'll be driving a BMW. If I was successful, I'll have 30,000 employees. If I was successful, I'll have a huge penthouse apartment. You know, so there are two kinds of successes. One is monetary success and a status in a society kind of success. The other success is your personal satisfaction success, right? You as an individual, as a person, you're content with what you're having. You have the hunger to do other things, and you have the freedom. So that would be my answer.
That's not success.
Oh, no, I'll tell you what, it is a sign of success. Let me tell you this, every time I see a girl inside a BMW, she looks even more prettier to me.
Hello sir, this is Kavan Joshi.
Hi.
Sir, can you just brief about the use of blogging and the benefits of blogging? I forgot the name of one of your friend. He has a big success and he's very rich just because of blogging. I forgot his name.
Yeah. So the guy's name is Amit Agarwal. He actually is from a small town. He's actually from Agra. He doesn't live in all those big cities. He runs a couple of blogs, and the guy earns upwards of 5 lakhs a month just by sitting at home and just by blogging. So he's amazing success story. Very hardworking guy. So the benefits of blogging, there's just lots of them, but I'll tell you one benefit, and the benefit is that it makes you a good storyteller. Take any successful person, take Steve Jobs, or take Usain Bolt. They're all people who do good stuff, but they're also good communicators. They are people who take you along on a journey. You know, they take you along on a journey, and that's why it makes you feel so close to them. So when Usain Bolt goes and wins the 100 meters, the 200 meters, and the 400 meters relay gold, and then, you know, that's because you've been hearing them, you've been reading about them, about how he practices, and you've been hearing his interviews. You get to see his lightning bolt thing, you know. So those are all the guys that take you on a journey along with you. And those are all good people who tell their story. And by having a blog of your own, by blogging, you can do the same thing, which is you can not only tell your story, but you can tell your story in an interesting manner. And you can tell a story where you can take an audience along with you, right? So for example, let me tell you that there was this kid in YouTube who had, so let me tell you this, there was this kid in YouTube who did something amazing with his eyes, okay? So what he would do is, can everyone do this for me? Can you open your eyes wide and rotate your eyes around like this? Can you just rotate your eyes around like that? Can you do that for me? Awesome. Now, I want you to do this. I want you to rotate only one eyeball. The other eyeball should just stay as it is with less movement, but I want you to move only one eyeball. Only one eyeball around. Can you do that? Just turn to your right, look at each other and do to each other. Let's see if you guys can do that. Look, turn, everyone turn left or right, look at the other person and see if you guys can do it. How much you can?
Awesome.
Okay, now I'm going to try doing this. Now listen to me. Watch very, very closely, okay? Okay. Now, this anybody can do, right? It's not a big deal. Anybody can do. Now, I want you to watch this eyelid alone. So, I'm just trying to show off, guys. But really, but the true thing is, this little kid that I found on YouTube, what he did was, he not only did this, but he also taught simple methods of how each one of us can do as well. So he said that this is what we should do, this is the exercise that we should do. So he took people on a journey, telling stories, and then, so I love the kid. He's like, what, about 20 years old or something. And that's what blogging does. Blogging not only lets you do things, but it lets you tell a story about what you're doing.
I want to question, like being a successful in life, it's all about money or like your relation in society?
Yeah, so never discount money. Money is super important, right? This is what Abdul Kalam, our former president, actually says. He tells that he urges youngsters to come up and to do service to the society. But he also tells them that never quit your job. Always make sure that at the end of the month you get a fancy salary or you get some money in your bank. Because only when you're financially secure can you do other things in life. Okay? So remember that money is super important. So make sure that you cover that space properly. You get sufficient money. Once you have sufficient money, then you will have the bandwidth, your time, and your inclination, and you can do the other things that you really like. So, like for example, I really like speaking. I really like speaking. I would love to come and speak at colleges. But every time I come and speak, right? Like for example, instead of doing this video conference, if I actually took a flight and came all the way around, then for me, it's one full day loss. Correct? It's completely one full day loss. It means that I'm not able to do work for my clients, and hence I will not get paid for that one full day. But I want to do, right? If I did not have a job, I can't even think of coming and speaking with you guys also. So remember, and you guys are not paying me also, right, to do this job. So remember that to do the things that you want to do in life, you must have money.
Good evening, sir. Sir, I have one phrase for you. I want you to tell me what you instantly thought about it, or what is your theory about it. The phrase is nothing lasts forever. So, what do you think about it? The first thing that came in your mind.
Okay. The first thing that came into my mind is that you have a very, very good voice.
Thank you, sir.
The second thing that came to my mind is that it reminded me of Steve Jobs' speech. It's a fabulous speech that he gave at Stanford University, where he says that every one of us eventually will die. Death is certain. Some of us will die young, some of us will die old, but the truth is that everyone will die. So never postpone things that you want to do in life. Just go ahead and get it done. Just follow your heart. So that was the second one that really came to my mind when you said nothing lasts forever.
Thank you, sir.
How would I describe yourself? Who is KIRUBA SHANKAR, the guy who is
Okay. So I always prepare what is called a 30-second elevator pitch. A 30-second elevator pitch is somebody asks me, who are you? And then very quickly say, so I am KIRUBA Shankar. I am the CEO of a company called Business Blogging. I run another company called SI Technologies. I've authored 4 books and I've started a publishing company called Audio Books. I come from an agricultural family and I wanted to get back to roots, and hence I started farming recently. My farm's called Potsana Farms. And that is me. So my advice to you guys is that each one of you must have this 30-second elevator pitch. Because if somebody comes and asks you who you are or what describes you, without hesitation, you should be able to say who you are. It really helps for you to lock yourself in a room, get yourself in front of a mirror and try this out and do this 100 times. You will thank me for it later in life. Thank you.
Sometimes we want to do something which is out of Hello?
Yeah, your voice is breaking a little bit.
Sir, I just want to ask that how can we increase our convincing power? Sometimes we want to do which is out of breath and people are not supporting us. So, what are the tips for it?
Okay, I think it's a fantastic question. So let me tell you why. The best way to let others, to convince others, is by actually going ahead and doing things without expecting any support from anybody else. Right? When people start realizing that, looks like this girl or this guy will actually do things even without me helping, and then when they see that you will eventually anyways get it done, they will then come and start actually helping you out, right? So look at banks right now. A classic example is banks. If you are an entrepreneur or you want to start a new business, and you go to a bank and ask for a loan, they will ask you 100 questions, they'll ask you to fill 50 forms, and then grudgingly may or may not give you that money. But if Mukesh Ambani or Anil Ambani goes and applies for a loan, banks will fall over each other and give him crores and crores of rupees, right? It's just a classic thing. So behave like you don't need it. Behave like you don't want it, and then that's a great way for you to convince others. Hi, good afternoon.
I think second time attend your program. First time
Good.
in St.
Hey, Sure.
Second time.
Before
First
before
time
you
in
said that,
Sancom, I'm actually in sound operating system operator.
awesome. Thank you. You've done a fabulous job with the sound. I think it's excellent. It's excellent. Can you guys hear me?
ચાલુ છે ચાલુ છે ચાલુ જ છે
Can you hear me? Good. So let me tell you that I really envy you, sir. Sir, I really envy you because you have more space for your wife to kiss. Right.
आप सर कर्मों में मानते हैं कि भगवान में मानते हैं?
Sorry, I come from Tamil Nadu and I only know the bad words in Hindi.
डू यू बिलीव इन गॉड डू यू बिलीव इन गॉड
कर्म और धर्म गौर और कर्म वर्क
Hello, sir. Can I translate
Okay,
in English? Do you believe in work or God?
Okay. So quite honestly, this is what I call as the Mother Teresa questions, because I'm not sure what to make of that question really. But since you asked the question, let me answer this for you. That's like saying, do you want food or do you want water, right? My answer is, hey, give me both. So similarly, it's nice, definitely both is worship, right? It's nice to work, but it's also not a bad thing to have some belief in a supreme being. So that when your life comes to a halt, when you face through tremendous difficulties, it's nice for you to sit alone and just seek the help of some imaginary person or a figure to, it just gives you that hope. So my answer is, sure, take both, go for work, go for God, both.
Hello. Thank you so much, sir, for your precious time and sharing your life experiences and guiding us through life. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the sir.
Can we have one WhatsApp? Can we have one WhatsApp from you?
Thank you. I'm going to scare you. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you again. I'll see you guys on Facebook next. Bye-bye.
कुणाल શું કરતો હતો